Greetings, everyone. Welcome to 2K Sports and another exciting edition of NBA basketball. Our broadcast team tonight, on one side, Greg Anthony. On the other side, Steve Smith. And on the sideline, David Aldridge. I'm Kevin Harlan. DA, it's all yours.
Well, some say Jrue Holiday is the best defender in the league that no one talks about. He said, I don't need any accolades. I don't like being famous. But for guys to remember how I play defense on them, that respect, that's the only accolade I want. It's fun for me, playing myself to total exhaustion. Kevin?
What a great attitude. He is a monster on defense. David, thank you. A moment to check out who the New Orleans Pelicans have coming up. On Wednesday, they'll be matching up against Eric Bledsoe and the Milwaukee Bucks. And then on Friday, they'll be facing Joel Embiid and the Philadelphia 76ers.
And looking at the schedule, it isn't ideal in terms of the upcoming games with the amount of quality teams they're going to be playing, but it's also a good chance for you to get some confidence and really see just how good you are.
And now the opening lineup for Detroit. On the front line, the talented duo of Griffin and Drummond. Rose and Jackson are the backcourt, and it's Kennard in at the 3 slot. And for the Pelicans, Ball and Holiday combine at the guard spots. Zion is the 4 with Favors at the 5. And it's Ingram in at the 3 spot. Now here is Holiday. Well, Smitty, as we know, there's talk of playing more regular season games overseas. Good idea, or is the season hard enough as it is?
I like the balance where it is right now, Kevin. A few games you get a chance to go overseas, you know, during the season or preseason, but just add more travel, I don't know if it's a good idea.
Shot clock at 6. Kennard, the pass to Rose. Over Holiday. Rose, no good. Right side Holiday. And the layup's good off the glass.
One of the stronger guards in the league. Holiday will take it up inside any chance you give him.
Rose against Ball. Rose kicks to Kennard. Passes it to Griffin. And there's the call on Zion Williamson. That's his first foul.
That's something you hate. You're trying to come in with an aggressive mindset, and that early foul could take you right out of it.
Here in the first, a little over a minute played so far. Rose against Ball. Outside Griffin to the wing on the left. Here's Kennard.
And really, Ingram is as complete a player as they come. Not only awesome on offense, but just spectacular on D as well. Now, any chance you get, you want to put yourself in a position to succeed, and that's what he did there.
Great job of reading the floor, got to the rim, and made a play. Unusual for him, just a lack of concentration. Fails to finish the play.
And it's Williamson missing.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
The shot's good from Griffin.
He's very consistent now from the mid-range. Blake able to keep the defense honest.
Pass to Favors. Holiday against Jackson. Holiday goes in. And the rebound goes to Griffin.
Missing that one helps out all the analytical guys from the mid-range.
Ball feeling it out a bit. And there's the pass to Favors. Back to Ball. Just 5 on the clock. And here's Ingram from the arc. And the rebound goes to Griffin. Griffin's got his 4th rebound in this one. Here's Rose. Holiday with the block.
Terrific two-way player. Jrue Holiday not giving an inch, and he sends that one way back.
And it's Rose with the ball for the Detroit Pistons. Defeated by the Pacers in their last game, they'll try to put that one behind them.
Well, what did them in was all the missed free throws. It could have been a much different outcome.
You hate to lose it at the line, especially when you're getting what you want in other areas of the game.
And first time out of the game called for New Orleans. This game against Detroit here, it's their first meeting of the season.
And with this matchup being an East versus West affair, it'll be the first of only 2 meetings between the teams.
Very difficult game to predict. They are not familiar with each other. I expect to see a lot of in-game adjustments tonight on both sides.
And now a chance to take a look at some numbers for Drummond.
And the past 10 games have been all about his work on the boards. He's been a different guy when it comes to rebounding. He's battling like he hadn't been earlier in the year, and it's great to see that kind of hustle.
Now here's Williamson. Boy, was he something else against Dallas. With the teardrop, and it's sent back by Drummond. And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time, the whistle blowing. And Detroit gets called for the foul. New Orleans shooting their first free throws tonight. The first trip to the stripe in this one.
And the season numbers for them at the line thus far are really poor. Something I'm sure they are making a point of emphasis.
And that one falls for Favors.
Well, the Pistons, one of the more successful franchises in NBA history. 3 titles and many other trips to the NBA Finals. Only a handful of franchises can say that.
And he can't hit the second. And Smitty, you were talking about the Pistons, a history of success, of championships. But the last 10 years have been difficult.
Pistons have struggled the last decade. You're so right, Kevin. But this team has a track record of not staying down for long. Detroit doing what they can to return to championship contention.
Now here is Holiday after the miss from Reggie Jackson.
Everything worked except for the outcome. You want him to shoot that every time.
And then Griffin with the dunk.
I mean, on those alley-oop plays from Blake Griffin, you can't give him room to take off.
The Pelicans trail. And here's Holiday. He picked up 12 points in their last win against Dallas. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. That's on Reggie Jackson. And with all the uncertainty in New Orleans last season, Drew Holiday staying focused on winning games.
You know, Kevin, with everything he's been through, whether it's his injuries, his wife dealing with her own health scare, it gives you perspective on things.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
Free throw, good, Holiday. A whole new cast of characters for the Pelicans. 3 promising first-round picks, Greg, and the young players acquired from the Lakers and veterans like Favors and Redick.
All of a sudden, a wealth of options for Alvin Gentry. Time will tell how they did in the AD trade, but seems like they're off to a nice start.
One of the better defenders in the league, Drew Holiday embraces the challenge.
Rose finds Griffin. And the wide open shot from Rose. Here's Drummond.
Because he's a terrible free throw shooter, when Drummond gets the ball in a spot he likes, teams look to foul him.
And he's got his first free throw of the game.
And of course, we'd all like to see his percentage at the line improve, but he just does not have the touch right now. He's in the 60s.
And he makes the first.
Well, now when you foul Drummond, he can hurt you a little bit at the line. He's much improved.
And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. New Orleans has gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Got a piece of it. Ball with it. He's picked up by Drummond. Count that one. The Pistons have gotten just 3 of their first 9 shots to go down in this game. Outside Rose. Griffin down low. He had 25 points last game. And the rejection by Favors. Shoots from the line. Offensive rebound. Williamson. And the rebound paying off as they pick up 2 on the second chance bucket right there.
Second chance opportunities. Williamson explosive into the air with the touch and concentration to finish.
Rose finds Griffin. And here they come. Here's Williamson, and he drops it in from the low post. Williamson's got his second basket of the night.
Just a terror in transition. Zion's understanding for how to exploit these situations is one of his greatest strengths.
Here's Kennard. He's coming off a 10-point game against Indiana.
And it wasn't just the scoring. He also impacted the game on the glass. Terrific all-around effort.
Here's Ball, following the score by Derrick Rose. Ball dishes to Holiday. Feeds it to Williamson. And denied. He sends it right off the glass. They get it back. Here's Kennard. He's covered by Ingram, and they pick up 2. And here's Ball. He'll bring it up for the Pelicans. They want to keep it rolling here following the win against Dallas.
And really showed their depth when they needed it most. On the road, having to manufacture points.
It was really that second wave in the rotation that took the offense to another level.
Here's Jackson following the basket by Lonzo Ball. Jackson passes to Griffin. 5 on the clock. Beyond the arc. Jackson misses.
And even against defense as tight as that, you almost expect him to still bury those.
And Griffin sends it back.
Griffin has great timing. That's the reason why he blocked that shot.
On the wing, Jackson. He kicks to Drummond. The Pistons need to get off a shot here. Griffin's shot is off. New Orleans in the lead. Here's Holiday, rebounded by Jackson.
In a funk this quarter, he's trying to shoot his way out of it.
Griffin, look at that.
Nice. Blake Griffin's teammates have to say wow, because they get the chance night in and night out to see something fantastic.
New Orleans has gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Now a timeout called by New Orleans.
And as long as Reggie Jackson is healthy, he's going to give you some punch as a lead guard. Solid scoring option and a guy who's also unselfish in terms of getting his teammates involved.
A platoon swap here for New Orleans. So for the Pistons, let's go to the 2K leaderboard. Here are the team leaders in steals. You need to play heads up against these squads. Second, the Pelicans.
You can't get careless with the basketball against this group. I mean, they'll pick your pocket, and no surprise to see them in the upper echelon as far as steals.
And that's out of bounds. New Orleans will retain possession. And for the last half decade, Reggie Jackson has been good for about 15 points a game.
And that is about the consistency you can expect from Jackson. He's always been a talent. The key for him is just staying on the floor.
This is the shot they wanted to get. Right guy, right spot, wrong result.
Now here's Redick. Really was a guy who also stepped up in that win against the Mavericks. Pass to Hayes. Here's Hart. Wide open. Doumbouya pulls it in. Galloway taking his time here. Goes back up. They get a hand on it, taken away by Hayes. Moore left side from the baseline. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game.
You know, I'll tell you what, each one more has a really nice shot from anywhere.
Here's Galloway, covered by Reddick. Snell, and contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
And the Pelicans under head coach Alvin Gentry, a team that looks to get out and run.
Reason why, GA, he was an assistant under Mike D'Antoni in Phoenix when the pace and space trend was just getting started. Also on the bench for the Warriors, and we know how they like to get up and down. That up-tempo style is what he preaches.
That's good from Snell. Steve, I know you like this, that the three-point shot is having such an effect on the league, actually transforming the NBA. Are you surprised at how fast all this is happening?
I am. I'm surprised that so many teams are adopting this transformation of shooting the three ball, because there are some teams and there's some players, I know they shoot it, Kevin, but they shoot at such a low percentage. If you have the guys that can shoot it, you should adopt it. If not, you got to find another way of winning ball games. There's nothing wrong with having a great mid-range team that can knock down mid-range jumpers.
Here's Hart. 8 points his last outing. He dishes it to Okafor. Over Morris. And it hung on the rim, but wouldn't fall for him. Here's Doumbouya. And the jam by Doumbouya.
Oh, Kevin, not a Petty, not a Manny, but a facial.
Oh, a bounce to the ounce, Greg? Yeah, showing off the bunnies. Moore with it. He's averaging around 5.5 points a game. Passes it to Hart. And he drops that one in. Hart's got it all tied up now for the Pelicans.
He's a great shooter, but not just a gunner. JJ finding the open man.
Pass to Snell. Now Doumbouya. 11 points for him in that last game against Indiana. Morris kicks to Galloway. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. That's on J.J. Redick. Well, Langston Galloway, not the most efficient scorer, but he'll eat minutes for you.
Yeah, Galloway not a player you want taking a ton of shots overall, but he can hit from outside if you give him a look. That's really his best shot.
That free throw good from Galloway.
After going undrafted, Langston Galloway in 2015, he was named to the all-rookie second team. It's a terrific story.
Galloway hits both of them.
Well, the Pistons are starting to embrace the deep ball. First year under Coach Casey, they shot many more threes. Went from middle of the pack in 2018 to 6th overall last year.
Now here's Redick. No points in the game yet for him. New Orleans needs to get off a shot. From deep, Moore drains it from beyond the arc. And the Pelicans lead by 1.
Very reliable these days from distance. Moore shoots for a good percentage from out there.
And the threes the Pistons put up last year, Steve, a franchise record for them.
Next step is they're going to have to make them. This team is still looking for the right outside threats, but they know they want to stay a team that attacks from outside. Last year, an 8th seed finish for the Detroit Pistons. Had to work for it battling it out to the very end of the season. Their 500 record of 41-41 was just enough to get in.
That free throw good from Galloway. And Smitty, last season for the Pistons, a short playoff trip as they were swept by Milwaukee, but still a learning experience.
Kevin, getting this team back to the playoffs was the first step. The young players learned a valuable lesson. It's all about changing the mindset and culture of this team.
Galloway hits both of them.
I'll tell you, he doesn't give points away. Excellent job from the line.
Stolen away. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Galloway has got 6.
Not a lot of flash to his game, but Galloway can surprise you with his first step.
Okafor finds Redick. Back to Okafor. Clock at 6. That one doesn't go. Good work defensively by Morris.
Just doing the job on the backboard.
An easy 2 points on the layup. Now it's a 5-point Detroit lead.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
27 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. Now here's Redick. He's guarded closely. The pass to Hart. Kicks it to Hayes. Redick surveying the D. And again, no good by New Orleans. Pass to Snell from the arc. That one misses. And so the first quarter is in the books. Pistons lead by 5. And we'll be back with you right after this. Andre Drummond says he's learned how to be a leader on this team.
Watching previous guys who've led this team and did the things that they did, I write that kind of stuff in the back of my head and just say, this is something I need to do this. Or if I see something I didn't like, this is something I probably will stay away from. And I think now that I'm in a role where I could kind of lead this team, I kind of have the blueprint on what I need to do to make this team successful.
And, Greg, with Blake Griffin, he's got somebody to take some of that leadership role alongside him.
And those two will be pivotal in deciding just how good this team can be.
And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've played through 1 quarter of action so far. And what stands out to you from the Pistons so far in this one?
You could see they were well prepared defensively coming into this one.
Yes, what they do, they take away the things that teams like to do offensively, also keeping them out of sync.
They've got J.J. Redick. He's out there with Etuan Moore. Then there's Okafor, and it's Hart in at the shooting guard position. That's the Pelicans 5 as we get into the second quarter. Pelicans trail by 5. Rebound by the Pistons.
Great defensive effort, just saved a basket.
You know what? This is why you never give up on a play. You don't know what's going to happen.
For Detroit, they have been a perfect 8 of 8 at the line.
And really, the form at the line all season has been terrific. 79% as a team.
That's good from Dumboya. Interesting, Smitty. We're seeing guys like Dirk and Vince Carter play into their 40s. I'm wondering if this is a byproduct of improved nutrition and conditioning, and if that accelerates this trend.
I think it does, Kevin. I also agree to add to that. I think the game is less physical. I think a lot of those guys are taking care of themselves, but when the game is not as physical, it's a lot more perimeter. You can play longer. I'm curious, Kevin, will anybody play into their 50s?
You know, wouldn't that be amazing? That's a good question. Now, here's Moore. Shoots. That one's in there. The Detroit lead is cut down now to just 5 on the basket from Hart. Second quarter, and we're just over a minute in. Morris, left side. And he banks in the layup.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Here's Redick. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. To the paint. Here's Hart. Nice pass. Led him to the rack perfectly for the layup.
And they've done well at taking advantage of some late defensive rotations and getting the ball in the paint.
Passes it to Wood. That's good, and so Galloway with the assist.
Now that's a high percentage look when the D doesn't fight over the screen.
Reason why it takes extra energy to do it. You have to trust your defensive rotations, but it's worth it.
Pelicans trail by 7. And we're about 2 minutes into the second quarter here. Outside, Redick. Down low. Whoops, anticipated the pass. Turnover. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Dwayne Casey was the 2018 Coach of the Year, but as we all know, he was fired after that same season by the Raptors. Casey's found a home in Detroit. Casey said, "I have no regrets." Winston Churchill said, "Success consists of going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm." And that's what I've done. So, Kevin, Dwayne Casey is still pounding the rock.
He sure is, and I like that Churchill quote as well. Thanks, David. Catching up on the changes for New Orleans. Williamson comes in for Hayes, and it's Ingram in for Ejuan Moore. Jackson. Pistons keep it alive. Morris with the bucket. Morris has got the lead up to 9 now for the Pistons.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Here's Hart, and it's sent back by Drummond.
It's amazing Drummond doesn't block more shots. He has a 9-foot standing reach.
Dumboya, it's good for his second make. He's made 2 of 3 so far. Here's Hart. He has 6. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Okafor kicks to Ingram. Shot clock at 6. Shoots over Dumboya. And the Pelicans miss again. Pistons leading by 11. Jackson looking it over. Pass to Morris. Puts up a 3. That's good, and it's Jackson with the assist that time. Jackson's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. And here's Redick, still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. Hart the pass to Redick. To the middle, here's Williamson. And a foul call. Almost got it to go in, but he'll go to the line for 2.
And maybe the most popular player to enter the league since social media became truly pervasive. Zion Williamson handles it with class. He really appreciates his teammates and his coaches and really respects the game.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
That free throw good from Williamson. And talking to stars in this league, even they want to see what Williamson's going to do next.
Sure. We talk about the leaping ability at his size, the handles, the shot making. But what really stands out when you watch him live, the instincts. Being at the right place at the right time and always seeming to make the right play.
Now here's Rose. He's coming off a 10-point game against Indiana.
Yeah, and I look at his total effect on the scoring, both as a passer and a shooter. Incredibly productive.
Here's Griffin. He has 6. 4 on the clock. Over Williamson. No good off the front iron. Pelicans trail by 12. Now here's Ingram. His 4th shot, his 4th miss. Still looking for his touch tonight. And stolen by Williamson. And slam dunk by Ingram.
The fast hands of Williamson there. Adept at reading the opposition and then the anticipation for the steal.
Outside Rose. He's looking for Griffin and finds him. Over Williamson. Detroit, no good that time either. The Pelicans have gone 3 of 8 from the field since the beginning of the second quarter. Ingram kicks to Holiday. Here's Favors. No good there, and that would have cut it to single digits. And it's Rose with the ball for the Detroit Pistons. Following this one, they get to host the Mavericks. That game will be a quick pit stop before hitting the road again. Inside, and the dunk by Williamson.
And the defense learned a valuable lesson there. Don't let Williamson get to that launching pad around the rim.
Now here's Jackson. He's coming off a 16-point game against Indiana. Outside Rose. The shot off that time. Great D that time from Favors. Here's Ball. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. Well, it was only a short stay in L.A. for Lonzo Ball. Traded this past summer as part of the Anthony Davis deal.
And getting out of L.A. might be the best thing for him. Still a great defender and playmaker. His best years, without a doubt, could be ahead of him here in New Orleans.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
That's good from Ball. And for all the drama surrounding Lonzo Ball's entrance into the NBA, one thing is for certain. He can play.
And Lonzo will always have the media attention, but the fact is he is a very talented player. His playmaking and passing was as elite as advertised from day one. Starting to find his spots on how he can score for himself. But everything else with his game is what you'd want from an elite point guard.
Steve, we're seeing teams around the league putting up a lot of three-point shots. I'm sure you would have enjoyed playing in this era so much with that green light shooting threes.
I would, Kevin. Getting a chance to shoot maybe 5 or 6 more three-point field goal attempts takes your numbers up. But I also think a lot of these teams are copycats. Everybody can't shoot the three. Work on your game and what's best for you.
Now here's Griffin. He has 6 to the right side. Here's Rose. That drops. And it comes off an assist from Griffin.
You know, Blake Griffin, he gives you a little bit of everything offensively. Terrific court awareness.
And here are the Pelicans now, trailing here by 8. Outside Holiday. There's the dish to Williamson. And he lobs it up toward the rim. And that one is off.
Well, that alley-oop attempt, a case of what could have been, just didn't finish the play.
You know, this is something you practice over and over again. I'm surprised they couldn't execute.
And the Pelicans shooting 36% in the second quarter. They really haven't found their rhythm yet offensively here. Favors finds Ingram. 14 feet away, and there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul, shot misses. He'll be shooting 2. And the foul called on the Detroit Pistons. And another name included in that Anthony Davis trade, Brandon Ingram. Still a lot to like about his game.
Pairs up well with what the Pelicans are trying to do. Perhaps the biggest asset coming over to New Orleans could flourish in this system.
That free throw, no good.
You look back, in the 7 seasons, the Pelicans have been better than average defensively. They've made the playoffs 6 times. The other 10 seasons, only 1 playoff appearance. Defense has been the difference.
And he sinks the second. Well, the Pelicans falling off last season at the defensive end. Smitty, what's the key for them getting back on track?
They've got to do a better job of contesting three-point shots. They were awful. Also, cutting down on turnovers would enable them to get back defensively.
Here's Ball. Here's Williamson. That one, no good. Griffin with some nice D. Pistons leading by 9. He kicks to Rose. There's the pass to Kennard. And here's Griffin. He's covered by Ingram with the fadeaway. Chalk up 2 there. 8 points for Blake Griffin.
I like that from Blake Griffin. Taking what the defense gives him, making that jump shot.
Timeout called here. The Pelicans decide to talk it over. Well, you look at the former All-Star Andre Drummond and the way he rebounds, Greg. He might be the best in the league in that department.
I mean, few players in the history of the league can go off for 20-plus rebounds on any given night. Drummond's one of them. Attacks the glass on the offensive end so well. His offensive rebounding, for me, sets him apart.
Here's Ball. Following the basket by Blake Griffin. And Favors kicks to Ball. Just 5 to shoot. The 3. It's Drummond with the rebound. Drummond's got rebound number 9 now. What an effort here tonight. Kennard, the pass to Griffin. Over Williamson. Drummond trying to get himself free. Another shot. Great D that time from Favors. Pelicans trail by 11. Holiday with it. He's got 6. Pass the ball. 3-pointer. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. Ball's got 5 points now this quarter.
When you've gained a decade or more of experience, this is what tends to happen. Holiday staying very patient, waiting for someone to break free.
Now here's Rose. They've been leaning on him for a decent chunk of their offense. He's averaging over 15 points a game.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Passes to Williamson. Holiday looking over the floor. And it's sent back by Drummond. Now Jackson. 5 points in the game. And it's Drummond with the jam.
Good vision, good decision by Reggie. Pushing for a better shot, finds an open man.
And so Holiday will bring it up for New Orleans. A 12-point game. Here's Williamson. That shot, no good. Great D that time from Griffin. Jackson against Holiday. Pelicans pull it in. Favors got rebound number 10 tonight with that last one. From past the arc. Second shot opportunity, and the basket is good, and he's got a chance here for one more at the line.
What passion this kid plays with. Zion, he really tries to grab every rebound that's available. And how much fun is it to watch this kid? I call Zion Williamson a kid, even though he goes about 280, and he has a certain composure that really belies his years.
Catching up on the changes for New Orleans. Hayes, he's checked in for Favors. Etuan Moore comes in for Brandon Ingram, and J.J. Redick is subbed in for Lonzo Ball.
I saw that one in Griffin's eyes. He was ready to throw that one down.
A minute 42 left in the second quarter. And with Williamson, it's not just the obvious stuff that impresses you, Greg. It's the little things as well, the attention to detail.
You know, Kevin, one thing that stands out to me, every time I see this young man, the eye-hand coordination, whether it's on steals, deflections, block shots, he always seems to pick it cleanly.
The kick out to Holiday. High arcing shot.
The struggle is real. He's been way off with his shot all evening long.
Drills it from outside.
So often Drew creates with the ball in his hands. This time the play is created for him.
Here's Galloway. He has 6. Over to the left wing. A 3 ball. And shot by Griffin, no good. Pelicans trail by 9. Here's the floater. It's deflected.
And the stroke definitely lacking confidence this quarter. Nothing on target.
Kennard kicks to Galloway. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. That one is on Holiday.
Nice by Galloway. Understands the situation. Catches the defender a little out of position.
The Pistons haven't made a mistake at the line yet. 10 of 10. That one is off. Okafor is checked in for New Orleans. Josh Hart comes in for Drew Holiday. Doomboy is checked in for Detroit. Tony Snell comes in for Luke Kennard. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Here's Redick. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. There's 10 seconds left in the first half of basketball. 5 to shoot. To the wing right side. That one's good, and the Piston lead is cut down now to just 7 on the basket from Hart.
And that pick takes the D totally out of the equation.
Hey, if you're not going to fight over, you're essentially giving the shooter the look he wants.
And so is Detroit, heading to the bench with a 7-point lead as we wrap up the quarter. Their defense has been active and effective. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Kevin, thanks. Alongside Coach Alvin Gentry. Alvin, what sorts of adjustments are you going to make in the second half?
Well, we just got to get ourselves organized. We got to get back. We got to take better shots. You know, the problem that we have is we're taking bad shots and they're running out on them. We just got to take good shots and we got to get back and get our defense set.
The best defense is offensive efficiency. Thanks, Coach. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the second half momentarily.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, everybody. Good to see you back here on our halftime show. Well, actually, we can't see you, but you can see us, but you get it. Ernie Johnson, Kenny the Jet Smith, Shaquille O'Neal. You're watching the NBA on 2K Sports. It was a closely contested first quarter for Detroit. At the end of one, they were able to end up with a 5-point lead. Looking at the Pistons, and Shaq, what are your thoughts on Detroit?
I don't think anyone expected to see such numbers from the bench. You know, I'm impressed. It was what they needed, the jolt they needed, Ernie. Wow, I never knew their bench. Matter of fact, I don't even know any of their players coming off the bench. Man, keep going, bench guys.
Kenny, let's get your opinion on New Orleans.
Well, they're trailing in this game because they're shooting under 35%. Now, I've got to give a lot of credit to the defense, forcing the shooters off their spots and making them feel uncomfortable. But if someone takes something away from you, you have to be able to adapt. So they need a whole new game plan because right now they're in trouble.
And that should do it. With the second half about to begin, let's send you back to Kevin Harlan. Go back to Kevin Harlan. Go. Just go over there.
And we've got third quarter of basketball for you. 2 quarters in the books. Blake Griffin really making a difference here.
Yeah, and early on, he has been feasting in the paint, and you have to think they're going to keep feeding the big fella.
Why go away from something that's working? Force the defense to prove that they can stop it.
And if you're just joining us in this one, first half is in the books. 1 half to go. Detroit leading by 7. And on the floor for Dwayne Casey starting the second half. Rose and Jackson to the backcourt. On the front line, the talented duo of Griffin and Drummond. And it's Kennard in at the small forward. That one goes. Count it.
Not a lot of resistance on the inside, and they're taking full advantage.
Jackson against Holiday. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Holiday's got 11 points.
I mean, few guards absorb contact as well as Holiday. In fact, he often delivers as much punishment as he takes.
And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Well, Kevin, in Blake Griffin, the Pistons have their biggest star in years, probably going back to their championship team of 2004. A return to all-star form for Blake meant tremendous individual numbers last season. And the Pistons hadn't won a playoff game in more than a decade. Still not the result they want in 2019. The Pistons will be trying to capitalize during Blake's prime. Kevin, we'll see where this franchise goes from here.
He sure will, David, but he's a terrific player. Thank you so much.
And this is Alvin Gentry's 4th stop as an NBA head coach. He's been working as an NBA assistant, get this, since 1988.
Over 3 decades in this league. A decade coaching in college. Worked for and with so many legendary coaches. He's seen it all.
Williamson, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
In a time of renewal for the Pelicans, ownership transitioning, new front office, and the #1 overall pick, Zion Williamson.
Guys, after the turmoil of last season, a renewed sense of optimism, new life for this franchise.
That free throw good from Williamson.
One area that the Pistons were great in last year was perimeter defense.
What they did, GA, they closed out on shooters fantastically. They got hands up and hands up high. Allowed the fewest threes against as a team. Their interior defense was just so-so, but on the perimeter, they were tough.
And Williamson, a kid that's likely to reach his full potential, very coachable, absorbs instruction well, and really implements it quickly.
Now here's Rose. The feed to Drummond over Favors, and no good. Trying to use the glass. And New Orleans pushing it up now for the 3. That one's good, and the Piston lead is cut down to 3 on the bucket from Drew Holiday.
Certainly capable from distance. Defenses no longer dare Holiday to shoot from out there.
Here's Jackson. He has 5. Over Williamson. They get it back, and that one's good. Drummond. Drummond's got 6 points.
Now that's how you pick up second chance points. Stay active and be ready as soon as the shot goes up.
Pass to Favors. Holiday against Jackson. The shot by Holiday, no good. Pistons leading by 5. Jackson passes to Kennard. The pass to Griffin. Over Williamson. Looking to get back on track here. Griffin's shot is off.
No other way to put it. Just a poor shooting performance for him. But luckily, his teammates have picked up the slack. And that's the kind of lead pass we've come to expect from him.
For Detroit, they've gone 2 of 7 from the field in the third. That leaves room for improvement, sir. Rose in the post. He's covered by Ball.
And every miss finds its way to his hands. Well, what an impressive performance.
and we have to give him props. It's rare these days to see someone dominate the glass so single-handedly.
So it's Detroit now. Zion Williamson unable to get his last shot to go.
And you gotta love the big bucket in the paint in this sort of a grinded-out game.
We've gone about 3.5 minutes into the third now. Ball, the pass to Favors. Dishes it to Holiday. Kicks it to Ball. 6 on the shot clock. Pass to Ingram. Williamson with it. Griffin's there. Tries again. Favors trying to break free.
And he's been a force on the glass all game long.
He has led this team in rebounding and also taken on the role of enforcer.
Rose up on top. He's covered by Ball. Right side, Griffin. Over Williamson.
Impacting the game now at both ends. Zion moves his feet well and can change directions and close out on shooters.
The baseline jam. And it's Ingram missing.
And they haven't been able to turn it into a big lead, but their rebounding advantage is starting to add up.
Here's Kennard, guarded by Holiday. Rose kicks to Kennard. Off target from outside.
And this is what you like about his perimeter D. Never gave up and challenged the deep one.
You see some guys, they just mail it in. They don't go out and contest it. Not him. He's going to compete through the entire play.
And you admire that assertive aggression from Williamson. Goes right at you when he's in his comfort zone.
Here's Kennard. He's got 8. And stolen by Williamson. Here's Ingram. Yes, that goes in. And it's now only a 1-point Piston lead.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Rose against Ball. Here's Kennard. Detroit, no good that time either. And the foul called on Blake Griffin. That's his 3rd foul of the game. J.J. Redick's checked in for Lonzo Ball. And the Pistons making a change here as well. Morris is checked in.
You know, a big change last season for Luke Kennard happened when he stopped worrying about taking bad shots. He was asked to be more proactive on offense and start creating chances for himself instead of waiting for the ball to be swung to him.
So it's the Pistons now. Brandon Ingram missing his last shot. Jackson makes it off the glass. Jackson's got 7 points.
This is what you get from Reggie Jackson now. Powering through contact and has the focus to complete the play.
Holiday dishes to Ingram. From 11 feet away, that one good for 2. Ingram's got 4 points this quarter. And Smitty, that aggressiveness from Kennard, that's what the team wants from him.
He's a big part of their future. They need that from him. He may not be their #1 or #2 scorer, but he can be a very solid option off the bench or as a starter.
Now Morris, following Drew Holiday's 3-point attempt. Passes it to Kennard. Stolen by Holiday. And the call will be against Luke Kennard. That's his 4th foul of the contest.
And now only 1 away from being in the penalty.
So for the Pelicans, Okafor is checked in for Williamson. Each-one Moore comes in for Brandon Ingram. And it's Josh Hart in for Drew Holiday. And then for Detroit, Doomboy is checked in for Griffin. Tony Snell comes in for Luke Kennard. And Langston Galloway subbed in for Reggie Jackson. Timeout called here. The Pelicans decide to talk it over.
And just trying to get some traction offensively. Boy, it hasn't been pretty.
You know, this is a good time to maybe switch up your strategy a little bit. You can't keep doing what you're doing and expect a different result.
Redick passes to Hart. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot two. Andre Drummond picks one up. And 4 years at Villanova for Josh Hart. Won the title back in 2016.
He just makes winning plays, hits perimeter shots, and the 30th pick in 2017, he has been solid.
And that one misses. And it's tied up with that one.
He is definitely disappointed. He couldn't put his team up in front, but at least he knotted this one up.
To the inside, and Drummond throws it down.
There's not many that dunks it as powerful as Andre Drummond. He's explosive at 280 pounds.
New Orleans has gotten a lot of looks from outside tonight, 5 of 12. And it's Okafor off the drive. The shot, no good. And it's Detroit the other way. Doumbouya kicks to Galloway. Pass to Snell. Morris right side. Shot clock at 5. And the rejection by Favors.
The 7'4" arm span of Favors paying big dividends when it comes to rim protection.
Lobbed up there for Drummond. Hammers the alley-oop through. That gives him the double-double. 10 points and 19 rebounds.
So gifted. Drummond soars through the air, then explodes on the finish.
Here's Hart. He's got 10. And the pass to Reddick. Back to Favors. Good D by Drummond. And it's Drummond with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Detroit Pistons. They lead by 4. Morris with the bucket.
Outstanding entry pass there. He knew exactly where to go with the ball.
New Orleans has gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
As the lead continues to grow, this is just heady, sound basketball.
They have just nailed their halftime adjustments. That's for sure. They don't want to have to sweat this one out. They're looking to pull away.
Here's Hart, currently averaging almost 6 points a game. Reddick with the 3. Andre Drummond grabs the miss.
And on an open look like that, he's very gifted at making the weak coverage pay.
Here's Galloway. 7 points in the game. Doumbouya. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. He's gone 2 for 2 at the line so far.
Shooting 2.
That's good from Doumbouya. New Orleans making a switch here. Hayes is checked in. Detroit also making some changes. Christian Wood comes in for Andre Drummond. And it's Jackson in for Langston Galloway. He's perfect from the line this time. Pelicans trail by 10. Here's Hart. He feeds it to Hayes. Sinks that one from the post. Hayes has got his first basket of the night.
And with those points, he puts an end to that 10-0 run by Detroit.
Jackson passes to Wood. In the corner, Snell with it. Over Hart. And that one goes long. Well, for New Orleans, shooting just 34% from the floor. Lets a floater go. Morris with the rebound. Morris has got 6 rebounds now in the game. Snell, no good. New Orleans gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. Pass to Moore. 1:39 left in the third quarter. Here's Hart. He's got 10. The teardrop falls in. Hart's got 12 points in the game.
That's nice work, stopping short of the rim, just laying it over the top.
Pass to Snell. Here's Wood. Nice ball movement by Detroit. Jackson has the open look. It's rebounded by New Orleans. Hayes has got his 4th rebound in this one. Outside, Redick. To the paint. Here's Okafor. Nails the baby hook. And now just a 4-point Detroit lead.
And not being as aggressive from the three-point line anymore. They had a lot more attempts in that first half.
Down low, here's Wood. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. It's on Jahlil Okafor.
And you don't ever want to get into the habit of letting the offense get to the rim.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And he knocks down the first one. Derrick Rose is checked in for Detroit. So he makes 1 of 2 as the second one misses. Wood kicks to Doumbouya. Okafor grabs the miss. Pelicans trail by 5. Shoots from the high post. Hart, no good. 7-second difference, shot and game clock. Jackson in the corner. The 3. The putback. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
Just in a perfect position to grab that rebound and then get the putback.
Rose against Redick. Six to shoot. From deep. It's off. And so is Detroit, heading to the bench with a 7-point lead as we wrap up the quarter. And they've done a phenomenal job down low. So many of their points coming right at the rim. And don't go away. We'll be right back. And now we have a moment to reveal our State Farm assist of the game.
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them, and what a beautiful feed.
Fundamental basketball. Keep your eyes up. Keep the ball moving. You're going to keep the defense on its heels.
And with 3 quarters behind us, let's see what this 4th period holds in store for us. They're back, Ball and Redick. Hayes out there with Okafor, and it's Hart in at the 3. So that's the group out there for New Orleans. Here's Hart. Pass to Hayes. He kicks it to Ball. Okafor in the post. Morris is there, and it's Okafor missing. Pistons leading by 7. Inside, here's Doumbouya. And the jam by Doumbouya.
Oh, taking it to the rack with power.
Hammering down the two-hand slam. And here's Ball. He'll bring it up for New Orleans. Next up for them, the Bucks in Milwaukee. And that'll be the first of a two-game road trip for them. Okafor finds Redick. Here's Hayes, covered by Morris. Here's Ball. Here's Okafor. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
He misses the free throw. Brandon Ingram, he's checked in for the Pelicans. That's off as well, so he misses both.
Another rebound hauled in. They're hitting the glass with a lot of passion.
Very aggressive Derrick Rose. So efficient on how he attacks the hoop.
A little over a minute of the fourth quarter gone right now. And here is Ball. He dishes it to Redick. Rebound, Detroit. They've led by as many as 14 points. And stolen by Redick. Here's Ball. And he makes the bucket, gets the whistle, and now a three-point play chance here for him.
Yeah, how about the concentration from Ball? Not allowing himself to be denied. Really got to wrap him up on these shots to prevent the bucket.
And perimeter shooting never more valuable. And that's been J.J. Redick's M.O. all along. An elite marksman who can hit from anywhere.
Catching up on the changes for New Orleans. Williamson is checked in for Hayes, and it's Drew Holiday in for J.J. Redick. And the free throw, no good. And in today's game, if you don't have floor spacing, your offense is going to struggle.
They call it gravity, the ability of outside shooters to attract defensive attention. Redick, one of those you don't leave for a moment.
Jackson against Holiday. Jackson dishes to Morris. Jacks up a three. And again, it's the Pistons missing. And there's the foul. It'll go on Christian Wood. That is his first foul of the game. A different look here for Detroit. Griffin's checked in for Morris. And it's Luke Kennard in for Doumbouya. Now here's Okafor. Here's Holiday. And it's Griffin with the rebound. Griffin's got rebound number 9 now. What an effort here tonight. And here's Rose outside. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson. 9 points for Rose.
Sometimes Derrick Rose is usually hit or miss, but when he's on, look out.
Jackson against Holiday. Over Jackson. And the Pelicans miss again.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
And good that time.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Pelicans trail by 12. Ball, the pass to Okafor. Holiday against Jackson. Now here's Ball. 5 on the clock, to the middle. Here's Okafor. Rebound by the Pistons. Griffin's got the glass covered here tonight. 11 boards for him. Taken away by Holiday. And pushing it up is New Orleans. The Pelicans again in transition. And Griffin sends it back. Ball with the bucket.
Efficient performance from him. Not the case for everyone else on his team.
Outside Jackson. And there's the pass to Griffin. Over Williamson. Griffin's shot is off.
Well, he wants to shoot his way out of this cold spell, but the struggles continue.
You know, to me, this is when you want to focus on creating for others. Give someone else a chance. It's called a teammate.
Rose, good.
What a turnaround for him since the half. More aggressive and more effective.
Here's Holiday. They're looking now at a sizable deficit.
And there's still time left, so they don't necessarily have to really rush the game. And they need to avoid that.
And there's the foul. It'll go on Christian Wood. That'll be his second foul of the game. Derek Favors checked in for Jahlil Okafor. Drummond's checked in for the Pistons. Here's Williamson. Whistle blows. Basket is good. So a chance here for a three-point play.
Yeah, and the defense allowing some room here on the inside in the second half, and they're taking advantage. A lot of their points coming from in the paint.
That free throw good from Williamson. Pistons leading by 9. Rose with the ball. Outside Jackson. Back to Rose. Just 5 to shoot. Drummond trying to get himself free. Rose, no good. The Pelicans shooting in the fourth quarter down around 31%, not playing with as much energy here lately.
How about the vision there by Ball, showing the unselfishness, just being a willing passer.
For Detroit, they've gone 5 of 8 shooting as we've come down the home stretch in this final quarter. Rose scanning the floor. Kennard, the pass to Griffin. Off the mark from 16 feet out. Pelicans trail by 7. Inside, Williamson. That falls. Nice feed that time from Ball. And that's now 20 points for Zion Williamson. Ball against Rose. Pass to Kennard. On the wing, Jackson. Back to Kennard. Shoots over Ingram. The Pistons keeping it alive. A new 14. Second chance shot. Here's Drummond. And stolen by Favors. And New Orleans pushing it up now. Here's Ball. A three-pointer off the mark.
Well, he had 1 3-pointer in the first half, but so far in the second, he's come up with goose eggs.
Kennard, the pass to Griffin. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. It's going to be on Zion Williamson.
When you think of low post scorers, you got to put Griffin down there. Yes, he likes to face up, but with his back to the basket, he's pretty good as well, drawing fouls.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The first free throw is good.
And guys, one thing that has been interesting to see since Blake Griffin came to Detroit is how he's developed as a leader, has come into his own with how he takes responsibility for the team's play.
Blake Griffin hits them both. And with Griffin, you look at his time on the Clippers, and for most of his career, he was more of a second in command.
Coach Casey said last year early on that Griffin is the leader of this team, and Blake took it upon himself to step up to the challenge. It makes sense no matter how you look at it. He's their best player and needs to be one of the leaders.
Now here's Ball. Rose with the block, and he gets it back. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time. And it's Drummond with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Pistons. They've led by as many as 14 points. Passes to Griffin. Over Williamson. And that one's good. Griffin. And the Pistons lead by 9.
This is what you want out of your offense. A high percentage look for Blake Griffin.
Holiday against Jackson. Hit the floater. Here's Favors. And even after 2 offensive rebounds, they just can't get the lid off.
And they continue to control the glass.
And he hits it and gets hacked on the play. A 3-point possibility if he can convert the free throw.
This is why Derrick Rose is considered one of the best at his position. He is not afraid of going down low.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
And boy, what a year it was for Derrick Rose. And the sea of fans hoping that he would get back to what he once was, as he was electric.
As to Williamson. To halt the run. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. And for Rose, so many had written him off, but he was a huge factor for the Timberwolves.
Rose still has a tremendous passion for the game, and it really shows on the court. His renaissance last season was one of the better stories in our league.
And the first one drops. He's off on the second. And the defensive impact that Andre Drummond can have on the floor is a major factor.
Well, you know that Drummond is going to do the work of 3 players on the glass, but he's also a solid rim protector who makes up for his height with great timing and reach.
And that bucket adds to what has been a big difference in points in the paint between the 2 teams.
Stolen by Jackson. To the inside. Finished off the break. And the Pistons lead by 15.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
New Orleans gotten off to an 0-for-2 start from downtown here in the 4th quarter. Here's Favors, and Derek Favors with the slam.
Favors using his imposing frame to rock the rim.
Down low, here's Griffin, and it's Williamson with the rebound. Williamson's got rebound number 12 here already in the game. Ball against Rose. Here's Williamson, and the dunk by Williamson.
And what you love about Williamson, he's not just magnetic and entertaining, he's extremely productive.
Now here's Rose. Outside Griffin. And the call will be against Lonzo Ball. That's foul number 2 for him. Jackson kicks to Rose. Griffin looking around. Clock at 6. The pass to Jackson. Drummond trying to get himself free.
Trying to finish out the game strong. You have to recognize who has the hot hand and get him the ball.
Yeah, the defender all over him.
Shooting 2.
free throw, good. Drummond. He hits one, then misses the second attempt from the free throw line.
Boy, did they need that rebound. I mean, they have struggled on the boards overall, but still with the chance to win.
Jrue Holiday does a great job of using his body to shield the defender.
Detroit leading by 10. Rose kicks to Kennard. Pulls up from the corner. Good on the bucket. 16 points for Derrick Rose. And here's Holiday, who will bring it up for the New Orleans Pelicans. With some arc.
Every day, Holiday can be relied upon to bring focus, energy, toughness, and he's a terrific competitor.
And Kennard came into the league viewed mostly as a shooter, but he's been able to provide much more than that.
I mean, better than you think when he puts the ball on the floor. Learning how to lean into defenders and step back to open up the shot is a better playmaker than he gets credit for, and we should see him take on a larger role as he develops.
First free throw is good. And good on the second, so he makes them both. Detroit leading by 10. Outside Rose. It's good. This time the assist from Rose. Rose has got 4 assists in the game.
Nice pass by Derrick Rose, spotting a wide open guy from the corner of his eye.
Now here is Holiday. Out to the wing. Here's Ball. Offensive rebound. Williamson. Good D by Drummond. Detroit's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Here's Kennard. That 3 off the mark.
And he didn't punish them for the weak coverage there, but they can't count on him to continue missing.
The Pistons shooting and hitting almost everything here in the fourth, up around 58% from the field.
And so only one team answered the bell tonight, guys. Not a monster blowout by any means, but still a double-digit victory for the Pistons.
A beautiful pass doesn't always get you on the highlight reels, but there were some spectacular dishes in this game.
You know what? It was a team that was in sync and just trusted one another to take the right shots.
And so that moves their record to 11 wins on the year.
And with the win approaching, they'll take the first game here of 2 that they'll play against this team. Nice to get that first one out of the way and set the tone.
And a great team effort tonight, helped in large part with contributions, and the nice night it ended up being for Drummond.
You have to love the way that he was closing out on defensive trips. He would always body up, and it's why he ended with so many boards.
Williamson with it. Griffin's there. Williamson, the pass to Ingram. Shot clock at 6. Over Griffin. Tries again, and it's sent back by Drummond. And here comes Jackson leading the fast break. And he buries that one, drilling the rim on the way down. And the Pistons lead by 13. 7-second difference, shot and game clock. Ball with a wide open look. Off target with his 3. Now Griffin. Here's Rose. And so it's the Pistons taking care of business here. A solid win on the road for them. This building was dead silent by the time, GA, this one wound down.
And that's what you want to do. Take the crowd out of it by crunch time. Don't give them any chance to lift their team up at the finish.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Blake, very strong game offensively. What gave you the confidence to take over?
I'm just putting in the work, and my teammates honestly believing in me and telling me to be confident at the end of the game. So I owe a lot to them. They came up with big plays. Just everybody working together.
Very good win for you tonight, Blake. Congrats. Back to you, Kevin.
David, thank you as always. And that about wraps it up. For Greg Anthony, Steve Smith, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. See you later.